everybody. Welcome to Unscripted Access. I'm your host, Bronson Fiore, and I've taken over.
Nick is being relocated.
Nick is literally being relocated. He is moving. So while he's being relocated to, I want to say it was Irving, right? That's what he said. It was Irving, California.
Orange County, right? Yeah, that's what Irving is.
Yeah, it was somewhere in the OC.
Isn't that where Blizzard Entertainment headquarters is also?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go stay at Nick's for a week and stalk Chris Metzen. It's gonna be great. No, anyway, hey, we're back after a 2-week hiatus. Sorry, everyone. We just couldn't, I was working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for 2.5 weeks, almost 3. And the only time that I did get off, it was to do SnafuCon. So I was gone. Most people, let's put it this way: if Nick, Anthony, and I are all busy, the site just lights on fire. That's what happens. It just fucking combusts.
You need at least 2 people to keep it. You need at least 2 important, like 2 people who know what they're doing to keep things alive.
Yeah, but Anthony and I are back on track. The show will go on. We're already planning our Game of the Year stuff. As always, it is going to be epic and huge and exhausting.
Oh, man, exhausting. I mean, everyone's hateful, but some of us are too tired to be hateful until January when everything is done. Then we get the energy to be hateful for stuff that's 2 weeks old.
Yeah, no, it's just like, what are you talking about? Assassin's Creed sucks!
Assassin's Creed 3 is not better than Mass Effect 3.
Neither of those games are better than Sleeping Dogs.
And I might agree with... Well, that's kind of debatable. I mean, I didn't play Sleeping Dogs, but, you say it's good, so I'm like, okay, it's good.
Yeah, you can get it this Black Friday for PS4 for $25.
Man, speaking of which, Black Friday sales.
Yeah,
let's talk
about that news. It is a battleground.
It is a battleground because welcome to the 2014 edition of the Black Friday store sale Bloodsport.
Yeah, I have a friend.
Get your lawn chairs, everybody. Sit in the parking lot. Watch people shove each other, run each other down, and steal each other's shopping carts.
I mean, quite frankly, I only really want a copy of Madden and maybe a copy of Sleeping Dogs from Best Buy. That's all I'm going out there for.
Honestly, the only things I'm looking for is
Shadows of Mordor.
Shadows of Mordor, which is like a $25 item. $30 item at GameStop, I think. But it's $25 at Best Buy. And maybe 1 or 2 other games. I'm not looking for new releases because there's absolutely no way new releases are going to get price cutted at all that day.
Yeah, I was hoping that Call of Duty would maybe sneak in there, and it didn't. I was really bummed about that because I actually got to try some of the new Call of Duty on the PC recently through a friend of mine, and that campaign is kind of cool. It's it's the future, man. But we'll get to Call of Duty later. We got to talk about these Black Friday deals.
Yeah. So let's start with the console bundle deals, and the one that I know of is the Best Buy one. I forgot the price on it. I have to check.
Are we talking PS4, Xbox One, or Wii U? Which one do we want to
I saw the PS4 one because we already know the Xbox bundles.
Okay, well, and the Wii U one's actually pretty sweet too. The Wii U one is, it's very nice. It is, in my opinion, you are getting 3 out of the 4 best Wii U games. All right, so the first bundle, we'll talk about PS4 because that's one you know. It is a PS4, a brand new PS4 in black, with a digital code for The Last of Us and a physical copy of Grand Theft Auto 5.
All yours for $400.
Yeah,
This isn't really a $320 Xbox One bundle, but you can get 2 remastered games for $400.
Yeah, and they're 2 really good games. Granted, here's the thing. My problem with that bundle is if you already played those games last year, those are significantly better versions of those games, but they are still those games.
I don't know if I could call The Last of Us significantly better because it is an up-res and 60-frame version of The Last of Us, whereas GTA 5 it has more features first person mode. So, but yeah,
It's like they added first person mode and a bunch of tertiary stuff, in my opinion. Like that's what that is. I even then though, like first person mode, everyone's flipping their shit over, and I'm like, this is cool and really detailed, but this is also very tertiary, and I just don't care enough.
Yeah, I just don't care enough for Grand Theft Auto 5. To me, it's like I will get it once it's like maybe $30.
Yeah, that was my sentiment, especially when I looked up how much I could trade in last year's version for, and it was like, we'll give you $15, and I was like, nope,
I mean,
nope.
Like the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions, it's a hugely amazing. As is, yeah, the frame rate,
is bad. There are points where it's really bad.
They did the best they could, but that is like the lowest tolerable frame rate that you can accept for that type of game. The fact that you're simulating rain and traffic and the police chasing after you while off-roading is, that's an achievement right there.
All right, so there's that bundle. Not a bad bundle. I will.
It's not bad, but
for $30 more, Best Buy has an Xbox One bundle. It is the Assassin's Creed bundle, so you get last year's Creed and this year's, and an extra controller for $430.
That's not bad.
They also have the regular Assassin's Creed bundle for $330. The Sunset Overdrive bundle for $330. Not bad. All these are really good. The Wii U bundle. If you do not have a Wii U, look into this.
Seriously, guys, Smash Bros. Wii U is coming out, like, it's already out by the time this episode is up. So,
Bayonetta 2 is amazeballs.
I'm very close to finishing it. So it's awesome, and includes Bayonetta 1, for those who haven't played it.
It's a 32 gigabyte black Wii U that comes with Super Mario 3D World.
My opinion, the best Mario game I've ever played. Nintendo
Land, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and Super Smash Brothers for $360.
Wow. So you get Super Mario 3D World, which is, in my opinion, the best Mario game I've ever played. You get Donkey Kong Tropical.
It's arguably the best game on that system too.
You get Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which is like one of your top 2 or 3 games of the year.
It is currently in my top 2. Yes.
And you get the Smash Brothers game that everyone's going to buy. That's very good.
That is a real good bundle. And then there's a 3DS XL bundle. It comes with Mario Party Island Tour for $175.
No.
Whatever. As for notable game sales, I'm just going to do the notable ones. Those of you who want to play Call of Duty on the last gen, it's $15 off. Those of you who are like me and have an obsession with Disney Infinity will know that every system that it is on is getting both starter packs for $40. All the sports games by EA and 2K are $30 instead of $60. Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls Ultimate Evil Edition is also $30 instead of $60. So is Watch Dogs and Alien Isolation and Sleeping Dogs. And Borderlands the pre-sequel. And so is Sims 4 Limited Edition. If you're looking to go a little cheaper, for $25, Shadows of Mordor, Just Dance, The Evil One In, Wolfenstein, and Titanfall, Forza 5, and Dead Rising 3 Apocalypse Edition are all $25. Still, Anthony, you say, what more could I do, you may ask? Anthony?
I'm sorry?
It's just like, what more is there to this wonderful Best Buy deal? Well, how about $20 games? Walking Dead Season 2 on every platform, $20. Tomb Raider Definitive Edition on Xbox One, $20. Infamous Second Son, $20. Killzone Shadowfall, $20.
You can also get the Last of Us for PS3 and Theater Rhythm for $20 also. And seriously, people, get The Last of Us if you don't own it. Like, I now remembered, I'm going to go get the PS3 version of The Last of Us. Because I don't own the game. I played it, but it's a game that I have to own because it's one of those timeless things that I'm never going to forget. And Theater Rhythm. If you like video game music, and especially if you like Final Fantasy music, seriously, just get Theater Rhythm. It's really nice.
Going down the list, if you're one of those insane masochists who enjoys Dark Souls 2 is $15, and so is the best fighting game on the next gen / current generation of consoles, Killer Instinct. For those of you who are super broke, they have a whole bunch of games for $8. As for accessories, controllers from the new systems are $40, and the PlayStation camera is $40.
Did you know you can save 15% on Nintendo eShop cards?
Okay, well then.
So, you never know, right? I mean, Mario Kart 8's got its first big DLC pack, which features, I think, Link and his Skyward Sword bike and an assortment of new tracks.
Okay, so moving to GameStop, they have the same bundles, except when you buy an Xbox One, you get $30 off a year of Xbox Live Gold. Continuing down that road, pretty much games are priced as you would expect. They don't really have any notable surprises that would beat the Best Buy deals. In fact, most of them are actually $5 more expensive.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Except the new Theatrhythm, which is $20. What else they got on here? Going forward down the list a little more. Accessories, buy two, get one free on all pre-owned games and accessories under $20 at GameStop. Going further down the list. That's pretty much all the notable ones. Here is a Walmart online one. It is a PS4 with GTA 5 and The Last of Us Remastered, plus a choice of any two games for $450.
Oh, okay.
So for $450, you can get a PS4, The Last of Us, Grand Theft Auto, Infamous, and then another game, and you have pretty much a pretty baller, Christmas going on there. They're doing. For those of you who are in the market for an Xbox One, if you buy an Xbox One plus the Master Chief Collection, you can either get a $30 Walmart gift card, or if you bundle that with a year of Xbox Live, you get a choice of a free game for $380. So $380, you get an Xbox One, Halo, a year of Live, and a choice of a game for $380 at Walmart. Online only, by the way.
This kind of reminds me, because I kind of saw this on the news. There's kind of a little bit of a danger every time you do holiday shopping. You can either go to the store and risk not finding what you're looking for at all, and risking crazy people, or you can you can do what most people think is safer, which is, I'll just order online, but then risk your stuff being stolen off your front porch. Because, that's how mail works. They just leave stuff at the mailbox or at your door, and then people take stuff. So that was something I saw in the news. So just holiday problems.
Yeah, I don't. My whole thing with I have someone at my house pretty much at all times, so I'm not too concerned about shit disappearing. With my thing with Black Friday shopping this year is I'm really only looking to get Madden, and then maybe Sleeping Dogs or Borderlands. Like, I'm not going super cray-cray this year like I did in 2012. And then 2013, I just bought a PS4, so I was just like, fuck.
In 2012, you bought two PS3s, didn't you?
I bought two PS3s, yes.
I think one of them came with that PlayStation TV deal.
The monitor. I bought the monitor, and it came with a PlayStation. So,
right, I remember that.
And then I sold that PlayStation. So I got that monitor for significantly cheaper if you count selling that PlayStation.
Okay. But yeah, it's just like this year. It's like, there's only like really two things I can think of. Things that are guaranteed to sell out that you almost have no hope of ever finding: televisions, USB flash drives, probably tablets. It used to be computers were disappearing, but nobody really buys PCs or laptops from Best Buy as much as they used to, because everything's just kind of shifted to tablets and phones now.
I mean, here's the thing: if I just had a shit ton of disposable income, which I do not, because because one of my friends pretty much was like, you should go to Comic Con with me. You should go to Comic Con with me, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, fine, it'll be fun. Well, I could I'd probably pick up Madden for sure, Sleeping Dogs, Borderlands, Dead Rising, and then maybe Forza. Probably not though. That's four.
Probably not. I don't think you're like super into racing games.
Like I like racing games. Don't get me wrong. It just has to be the right type of racing game. Like I mean, God knows.
Yeah, like when when I think your type of racing game, Forza is not one that stands out because two of your racing games is PGR4 and Burnout Paradise.
Burnout Paradise
and Forza
is
5
the best.
and
It's so
Forza
good.
5 is neither of those.
Burnout Paradise is so fucking good. It's ridiculous how fucking good that game.
I played that game
is.
I played that game for the first time on our live stream, and that was the first time I played the game in like maybe 3 or 5 years.
And it's the best, right? It's the best. It's so good.
I was so bad at it because I'm just not used to the way the cars handle. I'm just not used to navigating that city. Because if there's anything that there's this one thing I remember not liking too much is that the game doesn't have very good navigation. Because you either know the city really well, so you can get to point A to point B as fast as possible, which is the best way, or you rely on the game to tell you when to turn, which it only gives you some blinkety turning signal, and when it does, it gives it to you a little too late.
I didn't even have that.
You either crash into the car, or you miss the turn, or you turn but you go wide.
As far as I'm concerned, you're lucky to have that little blinking thing, because I didn't have that when I played. So I had to memorize
Well, it has
the
it.
streets.
It's just hard to notice.
No, when I played that game, they patched that in later. So you had that, and yeah, that was patched in way later. So when I played that fucking game, they didn't have that. So by the time that I got the platinum trophy for that game, I had that city memorized as well as I have Reno memorized. Okay.
Okay.
It's just like, and you would go online with people. It's just like, okay, man, meet me at Chubb, and they're like, where the fuck is Chubb? And I'm like, how do you not know this? So yeah. Speaking of arena, but that's Black Friday. Moving on,
it's a great blood sport. I mean, it's well, great. Obviously, sarcasm. Honestly, though, if you're gonna shop on Black Friday, personally, I think the best time to shop for Black Friday, if you're able to, is at like 4 or 5 in the morning, because it's too late for the crazy people to be there. But it's too early for normal people, because if you even think about trying to shop on Black Friday on like daytime when normal people are awake, you're not going to find any parking. I tried. 5 a.m. is great because it's just like a Tuesday afternoon. And the whole place is fully staffed, so you're not going to... Oh my goodness. It's like the store is like being completely overstaffed. I walk into Best Buy and there's like employees everywhere. Same with GameStop. That kind of thing. So personally, I think 4 or 5 in the morning is the best time. You still might find a few good things. So yeah, just have to be willing to get up really early.
So moving past Black Friday though, the fine folks over at Telltale are doing a Borderlands game. It's it's Tales from the Borderlands, and the trailer takes the way that the game is set. There is Borderlands the pre-sequel, Borderlands 2, and now this game. They've got some pretty good voice talent, some famous actors, but the reason I bring this trailer up is because there's one quote from the trailer that I just instantly thought of Nevada. It's like, this place is a garbage land of sand and sadness. I just instantly thought of, like, that sounds a lot like Nevada.
Well... maybe a few years ago. I mean, today, if you kind of check up with the news and all that kind of stuff, it isn't as bad as it used to be. Obviously, the big thing that everyone in the city loves to talk about is how Tesla is going to build their brand new battery factory here, which is like the next big step forward, hopefully. But yeah, in the past, it kind of felt that way. The state pretty much for a long time had like the highest unemployment rate in the nation.
I think in Reno right now.
I remember in Reno at its worst, in like maybe 2011, 2010, it was like maybe 12 or 13% in the Reno Sparks area, and that was absolutely atrocious.
Nevada right now is number 45.
Okay, well,
Woo!
you can suck, get a lot better, and
We're
still
not
suck.
last.
Well,
Yeah!
what is the percentage right now?
It is 7.3%.
That's a lot better than 12%.
I wonder what Reno's is.
I was actually quite alarmed that I think I looked this up and I found out that Chicago had a higher unemployment rate than Reno, and that shocked me because I don't normally associate huge cities.
Reno is sitting at a solid 7.
Okay, well that's a lot better than 12%.
Yeah,
that's a lot better, and you can kind of feel it too because we're locals here.
Yeah, we're local. Know. Yeah, we graduated into the worst. Like we graduated high school into the worst possible economy of all time.
Oh my goodness! That part just sucks. Can you imagine? For us, we were like juniors in high school when we watched the economy just
implode.
Yeah, it just imploded. I watched the news, and then you're like, it sucks. I think it sucks even more if you're a college graduate.
Oh God!
Who graduated into that?
Could you imagine? Like you spent anywhere from $10,000 to $60,000,
possibly more, and with loans.
Possibly more with loans, and that's what you graduated to. So.
Yeah, but anyways, that's a little bit of a tangent. A sad place with a lot of sand. Yeah, a few years ago maybe, but it's not as bad now. Things are looking better. Vegas, I think, would probably fit that description better.
Yeah, Vegas.
Because you and I are locals to Reno, and when we went to Vegas, like obviously what everyone sees on TV is that Las Vegas is it's a very shiny city of high class entertainment, which is true if you stay inside the casino. The problem is that because we kind of live in Reno, which is kind of like in its shadow pretty badly. We already know what the casino is like, and let me tell you, the areas outside the casino, you can't walk on the Vegas Strip still without maybe. There's this walkway that connects New York to MGM Grand, and across this one walkway, I had maybe about 2 or 3 people handing out escort cards, 2 people trying to hand out free music CDs, and about 1 or 2 people selling bottles of water. And there was a sign that says no solicitation, etc., but they were doing it anyways.
Yeah.
And then this is just the walkway. This isn't like on the sidewalks by the Bellagio or anything. This is just a walkway connecting 2 major casinos.
I will say that quote actually does fully fit Las Vegas. This is a garbage land of sand and sadness.
It is sadness. You go in there, you gamble, and you lost your like hundreds or thousands of dollars, depending how crazy you were.
So moving forward, we need to talk about the Xbox One sales. So as we guessed in our last Unscripted, we said the Xbox One might be able to surge ahead of the PS4. Well, the past 2, going on 3 weeks now, the Xbox One has outsold the PS4. Not only that, but their sales have almost tripled in that time span. Continuing forward with this, they are approaching 10 million shipments following the huge spike in sales related to price cuts and new bundles. And quote from I believe it was Phil Spencer here. The response to this wave of blockbuster game releases and new bundles is amazing, and sales have skyrocketed since the new price took effect on November 2nd, said Microsoft executive Yusuf Mehdi. Compared to previous weeks, Xbox One sales have more than tripled, which is exciting as more and more friends will be playing together this holiday. Shortly, we'll have sold more than 10 million Xbox consoles at retail. And I have definitely noticed this personally, because I have had an Xbox One with not many friends playing. They've all still been on their 360s or not on at all. And suddenly, next thing I know, fucking Mark and like four other people, Kevin, suddenly have Xbox Ones. So
Here's the thing: I had zero intention of getting another game console this year, having spent $450+ on a Destiny bundle, and $350 Xbox One that comes with like 2 games really had me thinking about it.
I mean, that Walmart bundle, that Black Friday Walmart online bundle, where it's get one of the bundles with a year of live and Halo for 380. That's tempting. Uh, so
I mean, like Sony doesn't seem. I mean, I don't know about Sony. I don't think they're really doing anything at this point. Like, yeah, there's The Last of Us and Grand Theft Auto 5, but that's not the new Assassin's Creed game.
no, I mean the thing that's gonna and Sunset Overdrive seems to be the real bundle, which because that one cannot be found anywhere. They might have just produced less of them, but we'll talk about Sunset Overdrive in a little bit. This is great. I think. Look, I love competition. I love seeing a good fight. It means that both these companies are going to be producing hella new games to get exclusive games to get people on their side. It also means that they're going to be cutting price and doing bundles and all kinds of fun, crazy shit.
Here's what I still think. I don't think Sony is going to actually cut the price of the PS4 until they really feel that their long-term sales is threatened. Because like Sony is like, oh wow, Xbox One sales have tripled, but it's just the holiday season.
Yeah, and
but if somehow this momentum that Xbox One is building keeps going after January, when the price cut supposedly will end, then Sony's probably going to think, oh crap, we might be in a bit of trouble if we don't do something.
So right now, the PS4 is on pace to be the fastest selling game console of all time. Like, even faster than the Wii, which is the fastest. Not the most, which is the PS2, but it is on pace to be the fastest. And if they feel that is threatened, or they feel, like if they feel threatened at all, or they're going to lose their spot, I think that's when they'll cut price. That said, they have a little milestone to allow. PlayStation Plus is up to 7.9 million subscribers. Did not clarify how many of those are PS4 owners, but over 60% of PS4 owners are on PlayStation Plus. So
over 60%, okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Like I said, I love this. I love this kind of competition. This is good news all around. Okay, so anything else about the Xbox One?
Not that I can really think of.
Alright, so next up is a little bit of Warcraft news. We're going to mainly talk about this on the raid this upcoming week, hopefully. Hopefully, I'm adding the hopefully there.
Hopefully meaning probably never for the next 2 or 3 months.
No, Sunday night I get home kind of early-ish, so we might do it then.
We'll see.
Like I said, we'll see. All right. Anyway, moving forward, it is World of Warcraft's 10th anniversary, 10 years of Warcraft.
Congratulations! And they're expecting 10 more years.
They are
of this, which I wouldn't really be surprised, because when you reaching these new subscription numbers that we're going to talk about, yeah, you can kind of tell they're probably going to keep going 10 years.
All right. Well,
and EverQuest still exists,
EverQuest just had an expansion come out.
Oh my goodness.
But
anyways, yes.
World of Warcraft's new expansion just came out, Warlords of Draenor. I've been playing it, loving it. In my opinion, it's the best questing experience in World of Warcraft ever. Period. Even better than Wrath. That said, that said, they have seen a massive uptick. They were at 7.3 million subscribers the week before the expansion came out. Right now, they are sitting over 10 million is the current mark as of today, which is Wednesday the 19th.
So Call of Duty is supposed to be the big thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing that people don't really realize is that, you know, you're talking about like record sales numbers with like Grand Theft Auto 5 and Pokemon, and how Pokemon sells a gazillion 3DSs, and how Call of Duty keeps breaking entertainment records like every year for a long period of time before GTA 5. And what never really sticks out immediately is that World of Warcraft has, for a long period of time in the past, had, what was it, like 12 million people play at once?
12 million was their peak of active subscribers.
Active subscriptions, meaning people are actually paying for subscriptions. This isn't just like a bunch of characters that are, you know, like in the case of Final Fantasy, where they say that over 2 million people have played the game, but you don't know if those accounts are actually active or if they have, you know, they just purchased the game, had an account, and that was it. 12 million people were actively paying for World of Warcraft in the Wrath of the Lich King days. Okay, that's huge. And then you're talking about games that are not phone games and are actually serious, like Dota and League, and those are the most popular PC games in the world. And they're so popular that in 2013, League of Legends people, they rented out the Staples Center for their World Championships.
I mean, if this tells you...
And Dota has like this, the international prize pool that is basically bigger than any golf competition you can ever think of. I mean, I don't even know the number for it now. I think the international may have already happened.
Yeah, it did. It finished, but
yeah, that price pool must be ridiculous.
If this puts this into any type of perspective for people, World of Warcraft right now is the third most popular game on Twitch at this particular moment, behind League of Legends and Grand Theft Auto 5 on the new consoles. Grand Theft Auto 5 just came out yesterday, so of course it's going to be popular. And then, and then World of Warcraft, the new expansion, and everything, put a lot of people on it. So, good for them. Glad to see glad to see them going strong 10 years later. Glad to see this expansion's doing well, especially after Pandaria and Kata, the little dip there. I'm not going to talk about much, but I've been playing it. This early questing experience, I'm level 92. I'm only level 92, but I've been having so much fun. The whole garrison thing, the way they've done questing now, all of it has just been really well made and a blast to play. Moving forward is something I haven't been having a blast with.
I didn't even have a moment to comment.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Here, two things. One, I know I'm kind of in the minority. It just, Warcraft just never really clicked with me. Like, System 8, like I very, very, very highly respect its gameplay. Like, without the doubt, if you're talking about MMO gameplay design, yeah, WoW's, there's hard to find anything wrong. But I highly respect it, just don't love it. And I'm very interested to see if that over 10 million is going to hold, because oh man, they're back to, the peak of power again. Look at it, 10 million. Nothing can stop Draenor as it marches down the aisle of gaming, kind of stuff. And then I'm like, okay, but the expansion did just come out.
This is true.
Because here's the thing, you think about it, if I had a lot of time and I had the money, I would actually reactivate my subscription to WoW, because Warlords of Draenor is new. It's new world, new stuff, revamped gameplay. I haven't played the game. I haven't played WoW in 10 years. I haven't played WoW in 2 years. Yeah, I like to come back and play Warlords. I respect the game. I like Warcraft. I like Cataclysm, even though a lot of hardcore fans didn't. Yeah, I'll play WoW again. So I'm curious as to whether that number is going to kind of like hold steady-ish. I mean, I know it's going to decline a bit after a month or two because people are going to hit the level cap and some will get bored again. But yeah, just kind of curious.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if they keep it up. That said, I do think it has a legitimate shot because here's the thing: when Pandaria came out, it went up by 1 million. This is going up by 3.5 million almost.
Well, you have to think about it. Shit. You have to think about it. The slump was at its worst during Cataclysm and Pandaria.
Yeah.
Because the slump was pretty bad then. And I don't know if it has something to do with the way they marketed about how, okay, fine, you think Cataclysm was lame and Pandaria was too kiddie? Fine. We're going to be so hardcore, we're going to let you go back in time before the planet blew up. What now? Yeah. You know, it just kind of has this more hardcore look to it.
But we'll discuss this more on the raid.
Yeah.
But you want to know what I haven't been having fun with, though?
What?
Halo.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, Halo, the Master Chief Collection came out, and before it came out, like, we weren't able to get matchmaking going because I thought there were like 1,000 people at most on the server. So I was like, okay, whatever. Real game comes out, still having issues. Still having issues on the 15th. They post updates, say, hey, we're working on it. They put out the first patch, makes things a little better, still broken. Now today, on the 19th, they have a patch aimed for tomorrow. Alright, so they currently have a patch aimed for tomorrow. I'm going to hopefully pull the page up. Tomorrow, there will be a content available that tweaks the matchmaking problems and a couple other things. There have also been other issues, but I actually haven't found any of these. They're all campaign-related and related to achievements. They're on track for a release mid-late afternoon Pacific time for this update. These are the changes. Matchmaking. Address number of issues that result in extended matchmaking times and low success rates. Made a number of how matchmaking progress is communicated. You'll see more frequent information status updates. So player found, for example, will be displayed to let players know where they are in the matchmaking process. The improved matchmaking flow goes as follows. Searching for more players, players found, finalizing, connecting. An update to ensure parties stick together after game. Preventing the players to kick other players from matchmaking games. Made an update to ensure that the roster correctly displays searching rather than UI in my game session. Removed the possibility to boost ranking through custom game as exploit. Made an update to ensure players cannot get stuck in the matchmaking screen during map voting. Made an update to ensure connecting to your game message no longer incorrectly displays in the lower right during gameplay. Made an update to prevent players from seeing the connection failed dialogue during the map screen voting. Improved roster / matchmaking lobby stability. Made improvements to accuracy and stability of game session details. Improved compatibility.
That is a long list of things that needed to be fixed.
Holy shit.
Like, that kind of list is what you would expect when something sits in beta. Because I don't know, like, the frustration that I am feeling here is that we're in the year 2014. Online gaming has been mainstream for, like, console online gaming has been mainstream for about 10 years now. Got started with, funny enough, Halo 2. Like, the big hit was Halo 2 with the original Xbox and Xbox Live. Fast forward 10 years, and apparently the network team cannot get the stuff working.
All right,
and so that seems like to be like a common problem with online gaming these days. It's like when a new game comes out that's going to be super popular and has an online feature, I assume it is not going to work for at least a week or two. Like Smash Brothers Wii U is going to come out in like 2 days, and I'm going to assume that it's not going to work correctly, and I'm going to end up sitting for 30 minutes to wait for a single 2-minute Smash match.
Alright, so I'm going to tell you right now why I was surprised at this particular occurrence. Even Halo 4 did not have issues when it launched with the connection. That was developed by 343. Halo 2 came out 10 fucking years ago. 10 goddamn years ago that game came out. and it worked perfectly until people figured out what standby was. You know, I am just so fucking shocked at this that like they cannot get the technology right for a bunch of games that launched anywhere from 2 to 10 years ago. One of them that launched 13 years ago or 14. All right, they can't get this to matchmake right? Are you fucking serious? Really? Just fuck.
If I were to try and understand the viewpoint of the developer, I mean, this is. I'm thinking, okay, so maybe there was some reason, like Halo 2 played differently from Halo 3, which played differently from Halo 4.
Here's my thing though, like if this was a game where like if this was a game like Bayonetta 2 where like the fucking multiplayer no one cared, this wouldn't be too much of an issue. Or you know, if it was like or you know, like I kind
or if it was Nintendo, you'd be like, oh, it's Nintendo. They don't know, they can't figure out the internet.
But this is Halo. First off,
yeah.
Second off, people paid $60 for this product. At the end of the day, look, depending on who you are, $60 is a good chunk of change. For me, $60, like, I currently am not working for AT&T or the cable company. I'm back working at a call center. So $60 for me is a significant amount of money. Now, I got a review copy of this game, so thankfully I didn't have to pay for it. But if I would have paid $60 for this, I would have been pissed. I would have been so fucking mad. I would have just seen fucking red. You know, like just like I would have fucking turned, you know, I would have just grew wings and devil horns and breathed fire. You know. And at the end of the day they are paid to do a job by Microsoft and by us by extension because we pay them for the game to get this shit done. And just, you know, here's the thing. If it was a little broken, I'd understand. But, you know, this is really fucking broken. And a week and a half later, it's been slightly fixed. And I don't mean like, oh, it's been kind of fixed. I mean, ever so slightly to where instead of taking 10 to 20 minutes to get a match, it takes 15. You know? Like, it is fucking ridiculous. What makes it look even worse is we were just talking about the new WoW launched. It launched last Thursday, having the exact same issues.
It wasn't just that, but it was a huge amount of people, and the servers were suffering from a DDoS attack, denial of service attack.
Yeah, and they're having a denial of service attack, and they got it fixed in 2 fucking days. 2 days. Garrisons were broken and fucked. The intro quest was broken and fucked. And servers were fucking exploding everywhere. They got it fixed in 2 goddamn days. And to apologize, they gave everyone 5 additional free days of game time under their subscription.
Well, in the case of Blizzard, that's because they are running an MMO and have an entire team of people constantly working around the clock at all times to make sure those servers keep running or else.
This is true.
So, because it's an MMO game and it's Blizzard, and when you have an MMO, the servers have to keep running at all times. Whereas with Halo, it's like the networking team is probably a division, it's like a subdivision of the main development team. Which to me, the thing that baffles me is that, yes, I understand that, you know, making stuff happen on computers is never easy, because programming stuff is really hard. And it takes you forever, and it can take you hundreds of thousands of lines of code to ensure a robust networking protocol. And even then, the internet's just not very stable in general, and you're trying to make it as stable as possible. What I don't understand is that this is 343 Industries, which, like you said, 2 years ago made Halo 4 work perfectly fine. But you have all this experience. You're Microsoft. You have all this money, all this supposedly all this extremely skilled workforce, and you put out a game where the most important feature of that game is not working for 2 weeks. That is the part that I'm like, what happened here?
Yeah, like, did they not test this? Like, that's one question you have to ask, right?
I mean, it probably it sort of feels like, so we don't have enough people to beta test our multiplayer, so the reviewers are gonna have to do it for us.
Yeah, like,
which
I mean,
doesn't really work because, to be honest, reviewers maybe account for maybe a couple hundred or 1,000 at best. I mean, whereas the number of people playing the game is 1 million. I mean, what this reminds me of is the Drive Club multiplayer. Worked perfectly fine. Well, it worked mostly fine when I was reviewing it, and this was like maybe 3 or 4 days before it came out. Night before the game came out, which was when we filmed 60-minute access, the servers were completely dead, which was really weird because, you know, it was like 9 p.m. It's like not that many people could have gotten the game already. And the game, and the multiplayer in that game, and the networking features continued to be broken for about a week or a week and a half before they restored some of the features. And the last time I played the game, last week, they still hadn't gotten 100% of the stuff back yet. So, I don't know what's happening with networking these days. I don't know if it's because the Xbox One is causing things to blow up at the networking department. I don't know if it's because they kind of lost some experience in the networking. But it's Halo, it's 343, it's Microsoft, and I'm just a little confused.
It's very, very enraging from the perspective of a Halo fan, from a lot of perspectives, and you know it begs the question, like, why did no one catch this? Like no one caught this, and like,
this sounds like a really common theme in big games these days. Is big name games not feeling fully polished or fully finished.
I mean, what is the fucking certification process even for? You know, I mean, to like, Assassin's Creed Unity had a shit ton of bugs when it came out, and it's been getting poor reviews because of it, even though they've supposedly patched most of them. Here's the thing. I pay for a product on day one. I want it to be like, you didn't see Bayonetta 2 come out fucked. You know, you didn't see that game come out and have a shit ton of issues and fucking have to be patched. You didn't see,
and if it did have to be patched, it's usually a minor patch that they caught when they did further bug testing after the game started printing discs.
Yeah,
after they started printing discs for the game, sorry.
Yeah, you didn't see, like, Infamous have this huge fucking bug problem. You know, The Last of Us didn't have it. Like, a lot of games has not had this issue. But for some reason, like, you know, Ubisoft did it. You know, who else did it recently? Far Cry supposedly had something minor, but still did it. Halo's been a big one this year. Titanfall had this problem. Destiny on every platform that wasn't PS4 had these issues. You know, like, it just seems to me that these people aren't finishing their fucking games. And I'm like, and this, you know, me personally as a consumer, it just makes me want to go, well, then fuck you too, and not want to buy anything at launch, except single-player games. Like, how do I know Halo 5 is not going to be fucked when it comes out? You know, like, that's, I don't know. They fucked this up as bad as they possibly could. And a week and a half later, oh, we're putting out a patch on, what is tomorrow, but yesterday as opposing this. And, well, you know, is it going to work? Yeah, fucking maybe. Who knows? You know, like, and if it, and like, what is their apology for this shit? Like, they're just going to say sorry, throw the patch out, and fucking leave. I mean, like,
they you know, they don't really just give the typical response like, we're experiencing extreme networking problems right now. We thank you for your patience. We are working diligently to solve this problem. That's the standard response that everybody gives when something breaks on the networking.
That would have been fine if this was patched on the 13th or even the 15th. But it is getting patched on the 20th. And we're still not even sure if it's going to work, mind you. And
that sounds a bit worse than Gears of War 2, because I remember well, this sounds about as bad as Gears 2, but when Gears 2 came out, it took like 30 minutes for you to find a match. Everything was kind of laggy because it used peer-to-peer, and it took forever to find a match. And it took them maybe about 2 or 3 weeks before they put out a small update that made it work reasonably. So, yeah, so I was like thinking to hear, like, but it's like the thing is that at that time, it wasn't like Epic Games was like the most wealthy studio out there.
It's incredibly frustrating.
Also, at the time when Gears of War 2 came out, matchmaking was new to that franchise, because in Gears 1, everything happened in rooms. Happened the old-fashioned way with rooms. For Gears of War 2, matchmaking was new to it. In Halo, matchmaking's been there for a long time.
Matchmaking in Halo has been in it since 2004. And like I said, this is fucking unacceptable. The kind of shit that was going on in Assassin's Creed is and was unacceptable. And it's just so goddamn frustrating. And I really hope that the publishers get burned by this. I hope next year's Assassin's Creed, everyone's like, yeah, I'll wait till I know if it fucking works. You know, I hope the same thing for Halo 5. Like, Halo 5, if it launches like this, that is going to be fucking, like Redmond, Washington's going to burn down to the ground. So...
I think what you mean is their offices burn down to the ground. You don't want that city down, though.
Yeah, I don't want that city to burn down. But
because Nintendo's there, you know? And I kind of like Nintendo.
But, like, their offices are going to get burnt to the motherfucking ground. Man, it's so just... And it's not that, and like it's not like games are like not being finished. Like that's, you know, like there are some games that come out running at 1080p, 60 or 50 frames, you know, or 30 or 60 frames and work fine, no bugs. But then there's shit like this, like Call of Duty came out this year and worked perfectly. You know, like, I mean, yeah. Like, that worked fine. Titanfall came out and worked relatively okay for the most part after the first day or two. But yeah, man, it's just... Ugh. Ah! No. I don't know. It's just really frustrating, I guess.
Yeah, it is. Because it's Halo. And one of the main reasons why you buy Halo is to play it against other people. You don't buy it for the Reclaimer trilogy.
I mean, like I'm enjoying the campaign, and what playing all four of these games has taught me about these games is Halo 3 was the peak. Halo 3 was the peak of the Master Chief games, so far anyway. You know, 2 had some balance issues. Playing 1 now feels very archaic. Halo 4 has all kinds of stupidity. But man, Halo 3, that game, just the campaign is great. The story is entertaining. The multiplayer is fun. The only, like, if I get Halo 2's multiplayer maps with everything else Halo 3, you have perfect Halo game.
What about Halo Reach? If that was somehow included in the conversation.
Ooh, that's hard.
Because here's the thing. I've played Halo 3. I didn't play it online. But I played Halo 3 and I just didn't care about it. But I played Halo Reach and it's like one of the best shooters I've ever played.
Ooh, that's hard. I would say that is very close. I would have to... I am... My friend Ray and I are currently playing through all the Halos. So I will, when we are done with Reach, I will give my opinion on that. Yeah, man, just... Ugh. Moving forward with more holiday news and video game news. Microsoft, in honor of the first year of Xbox One's existence, they are giving out some freebies. Uh, so if you have bought an Xbox One and logged on before the 14th and played more than 10 hours, or no, sorry, November, you had to buy it before November 11th or by November 11th and play it for at least 10 hours or more, you will get the following things: a 1 year gamer picture, a new Xbox One background, a year one background image for use on Twitter, a free rental of Halo 4 Forward Unto Dawn, and a free rental of Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, and a sampler pack of Dragon Ball Z TV episodes.
Wow, Microsoft's like working their butts off, aren't they?
Not only that, they put out one of the most popular achievements. And the most popular achievements are Forza Motorsport 5, Welcome to Forza Motorsport, Titanfall, Build Yourself, Destiny, Shipwright, and Call of Duty Ghost, Spatial Awareness. So basically,
the first achievement of 5 games. Okay.
Yep. That everyone played.
You know, speaking of that, I love this feature in the PlayStation trophies. It tells you what percentage of players got a trophy. So
that is cool.
So you can like say, so if you get a rare trophy, you know it's a rare trophy because very few others have it. And I like that. I like that. But yeah, top 5 achievements, I say, so basically everybody drove once in Forza. Everybody shot a couple bullets in Titanfall.
Everyone played the first level of Destiny and Call of Duty Ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah.
So, continuing on with the news stories here. There isn't much. A bunch of stuff has released over the past couple days, so mostly those kind of games have been coming out. Alright, sorry, I'm trying to... Mewtwo is apparently going to be the only DLC character for Smash, and he is going to be free. So, yay, free stuff.
I feel like they might include more characters in the future.
They need to do Bayonetta.
Well, they need to do Bayonetta, but it's like, whenever you're talking about a Smash Brothers roster, the potential is endless. It isn't just Bayonetta.
I know,
because I'm pretty sure every Final Fantasy fan is desperate for characters from 1 through 6 of some kind. But I don't think it's going to ever happen because Square Enix has Dissidia.
Let's see. Final Fantasy XIV is currently getting hit with DDoS attacks.
Yeah, I play that game frequently. Yeah, they're working on it. It's annoying. Because what happens is that you play, and then all of a sudden your whole world becomes unresponsive. You get booted out of the game, and then when you try to log back in, you can't. DDoS attack, and you know, a lot of people are asking, what do the people who do DDoS attacks get out of this? Honestly, from how I feel, a DDoS attack. When you do a DDoS attack, you're not exactly hacking to steal information. You're basically just trying to shut something down by overloading it. It's like what happens on Black Friday, where instead of having a normal stream of people come in on a Tuesday afternoon, you have a giant mob that's literally causing absolute chaos and shutting down your whole store. Because the mob is just... You have so many requests coming in that the server can't handle it, and it just breaks down because it's overloaded. That's basically a DDoS attack. It's usually I don't think it's done for hacking purposes. It's just, and what do people get out of it? Well, I guess there's like some great people out there who just like to laugh at others suffering. Kind of like, I kind of always think of like that Joker analogy that, you know, some people just want to watch the world burn. In this case, I think it's just some people just laughing that others are getting pissed off because you broke something that they like. It's like those people that come by, take a knife, and puncture the tire of a car just because they can, and it's so easy.
I actually saw that happen one day as I was walking out of work, and I nearly went over and punched that person in the face. Like I just
Yeah.
like I was just
Yeah.
like, you are the scum of humanity. You are a savage, and you deserve to get stabbed in the eye with that knife you just used to wreck that person's tire. You know, you giant asshole.
Yeah. And similar to how you can easily take a knife and puncture a tire and cause a lot of expensive damage, a DDoS attack, from how I understand it, is actually not too hard compared to other things. Because all you're trying to do is create a bunch of garbage traffic that's going to shut down that server and overload it. So like bogus pings constantly. So, you could get a basic script, somehow set up quite a few zombie computers, mess around with the operating system a little bit, and just fire away. And stopping a DDoS attack can be really hard because there isn't just one way of doing it. There's a lot of ways of doing it. And stopping is really hard because it can come from maybe 500 different IP addresses. And you can't just say block 500 IP addresses. Just that's the life of a network security guy. You just have these giant headaches caused by things that are pretty easy to do. So yeah, that's the nature of a DDoS attack. Now, obviously, talent of your team, the talent of your network security, and how good your team is very important. Like in the case of Blizzard, they solved their DDoS attacks in about 1 or 2 days. Hopefully, the Final Fantasy XIV people get it worked out. I think they will. Just will take longer because obviously the game's not as huge and they don't have as huge of a team or a budget. And if a DDoS attack happened towards Halo, I don't think they would do that. It's already broken as it is.
Yeah, they were like, oh, you're suffering enough.
But if it did happen to, I think Microsoft would be on it pretty quickly. So, but yeah, that's the DDoS attack from how I understand it. I could be wrong. I may be a computer engineer student, but I don't know everything.
All right, so we got a couple of light news stories we'll breeze over real quick. Okay. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse arrives on February 13th. The Kirby game, they use the stylus. All right. Moving forward from there.
I love Have you heard the Kirby songs in Smash Brothers on the 3DS?
Yes.
It's so cute. Yes.
Let's see. All right. Well, we all know Brent's most anticipated game of next year is Bloodborne.
It's from the guys that made Dark Souls, right?
And Demon Souls. So, it was pegged for February 5th, but it has now been moved back to March 24th. While development continues unabated, we would like our team to deliver the best possible final experience, and producer, a name that I'm not even going to try and pronounce. The production time will also allow to better integrate these learnings. He did tease some exciting news in early December about Bloodborne. Okay. So, yeah, all right, that's cool. Bloodborne seems neat. Jeff Keighley is the longtime producer of the Spike VGAs, announced a new event called the Game Awards this morning. It takes place in Las Vegas on December 5th, and it'll broadcast on Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, and Steam. You can even purchase tickets to go to the event. Variety broke the news that it sounded awfully similar to what's been produced in previous years on Spike. It's less the gaming equivalent of the Oscars and more an opportunity for the industry to hand out awards while advertising what's coming next.
Wait. So that came a little fast. So there's going to be this thing called Game Awards.
Yes.
And it's done by Spike?
No, it's done by Jeff Keighley, independently, on Xbox Live, PSN, and Steam.
Oh. And, okay, well, that gives me some hope.
Just so you know, the advisory committee, or a couple of the members of the advisory committee, are Reggie Fils-Aimé, Peter Moore, and Hideo Kojima.
Advisory committee. Yes. Featuring the dude from Nintendo.
And Hideo Kojima, and a guy who I believe he works for EA now. Last I checked on Peter Moore.
So, what does the advisory committee do?
Didn't say.
Okay, because if they're picking games, yeah, no one's gonna really listen to it. here's the thing: is that okay? So Jeff Keighley's doing it independently. That's good because that gives me a lot of hope. Because seriously, some of the stuff he hosted last year was, oh my god. We watched the video we watched the video game awards. 1 year it sucked. The next year was quite a ways better. I thought it sucked, but some actually found it okay, which is an improvement. And then last year was just hilariously bad. Seriously, even the hosts looked like they looked like they actually just had to party the previous night and just didn't care. And that was probably one of the worst things I've seen in television in a long time.
So, we have a couple of final things here. BlizzCon was 2 weeks ago. They didn't announce much. They announced we'll go over all this in the race.
I thought they would announce something huge to celebrate 10 years of War. Oh wow.
Well, yeah, they didn't announce anything Warcraft related besides a new expansion for Hearthstone, Gnomes and Goblins. But they did, however, announce a new game.
That's right.
It is called Overwatch. It is a co-op, team-based multiplayer shooter, taking cues from Team Fortress 2, showed a lengthy CG trailer, followed with a gameplay trailer, mentioned an upcoming beta, and revealed everyone attending could play. They showed a gameplay trailer. It looks really neat. It does kind of remind me of TF2 a little bit, not gonna lie. Yeah, it looks really cool. I'm interested. Hopefully it turns out to be good.
And it's a free-to-play thing too, right?
They didn't say.
Oh, okay.
But I'm curious to see it. We'll talk more about BlizzCon on the raid. But yeah, moving forward. We have two last stories that are related to players doing things, we should say. Alright, so we're all aware how you can create levels in Little Big Planet 2, correct?
Yes.
Well, 2 years ago, a very large Final Fantasy VII fan painstakingly decided to recreate the entire storyline in Little Big Planet 2. That was 2 years ago. He finished it today.
Wow.
This includes the story, side missions, all cutscenes, soundtrack, bosses, world map, and a battle system replete with limit breaks. This huge achievement spans 31 levels and marks the end of a lot of hard work. You can play it on Little Big Planet 3 and Little Big Planet 2.
Oh yeah, in Little Big Planet 3 you can do the levels. You can also do levels from 2. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, that's a lot of dedication right there.
So if you I kind of want to do a 60-minute access just to see this. Right on, dude. I'm glad that you're that big of a super fan. It looks really cool from what I saw. I've always been amazed at what people can create in Little Big Planet. I was super impressed by this. So, final thing is, as we all know, Batman Arkham City came out 3 years ago. Well, the final Easter egg has been discovered. Let's see. This Easter egg was discovered 3 years after the game's release and hinted at by a YouTube account that may have been created at Rocksteady. To view this cryptic message, you must set your system's internal clock back to December 13th, 2004, the date Rocksteady was formed. Visiting Calendar Man in the courthouse provided the following message. Do you remember my early work? Flawed, but it showed promise. The end of days is coming, and I was there at your beginning, and I will be there at your end. This appears in the final chapter of the Arkham Batman is at hand, and Calendar Man may yet have a role in the conclusion of the series. So, yeah. So,
Easter egg hunting.
That was neat.
Kind of remind me of the story from a year or two ago, finding the last Easter eggs in Halo 3.
That was this year.
This year?
Yeah, they found the last Easter egg in Halo 3 this year. That was right. That happened. That was neat. I don't know. But that's pretty much all we got for news. We can talk a little bit about what we've been playing, I guess, to pad this out a little bit. How long have we been recording for?
Hour and 9 minutes.
Alright, yeah, we'll pad this out a little bit. let's see. Played a little bit of Bayonetta 2. Been loving it. Sadly, just haven't had much time. Halo's broken. Single player still great. Warlords I'll talk about on the podcast. Anything else that has come out recently? Help me out here.
Recently?
Recently-ish. We'll say recently-ish.
Ish. No clue.
Alright, well, anyway, sadly we do not have any new Twitter, Facebook, we don't have any, comments or Twitter or Facebook things. Oh wait, actually we do. We had one. I had a personal message. A friend of mine, she's looking into buying a gaming laptop. She's gonna be in the price range of $2,000 or less. She favors performance over anything else. What would you tell her to go buy, Anthony?
Performance over anything else.
Yes, she does not care how heavy this monstrosity is going to be.
Okay, well, if you're looking for performance above everything else, a 17-inch laptop isn't going to work out because the 17-inch laptops are actually more expensive than equivalent performance 15.6-inch screen laptops. So you get 15-point-inch screens. What would I recommend? Well, Alienware's not really a bad choice. I like the Alienware 14. Nice size.
They actually got rid of it. It doesn't exist anymore.
What?
No,
wow, my laptop purchasing is already outdated. Crap.
It is the 13 with an optional graphics amplifier.
Well, then what's their next size up then?
The 17 goes 13, 17,
So
18.
you can pick. So you pick a tiny screen or a huge monster.
Yep.
That doesn't sound like the 14. I'm like, okay, all right. It's not the standard 15-inch screen, but hey, 14-inch screen is my kind of laptop. And now they shrunk it some more. Crap.
Here's the thing. If you are looking to just go batshit crazy with this and willing to spend $100 more, the Alienware 18 does have dual 860Ms.
The problem is that, I don't know, like, I'm a little stuck in the previous decade because SLI does not work perfectly with everything.
Yes.
Because, you got two video cards and there's actually a few different ways you can do it. You can have one video card render one frame and the other video card render the next frame, but that can cause micro stuttering problems. You can, there's like different ways you can split the workload between those two things, but SLI does not work perfectly. I think it's a lot better now than it was in the past because it's kind of stuck around long enough that they have to work the kinks out, but the drivers have to be good, the game has to be working, coded correctly in order to support dual video cards. Yeah. I wouldn't go for SLI. That's just my personal opinion.
Well, if you are, so I was fond of Aaron's Republic of Gamers laptop. As it did have issues, but still was a pretty legit laptop.
It was a great laptop. It's just that, for some reason the fan died. And it wasn't something that was easily replaceable because this is the problem that you always face when you purchase laptops. If you purchased like a Dell or an HP and something on it breaks, you can actually fix it yourself. Because at least in the case of HP, they print out the entire maintenance manual for you and it lists all the parts that you need should that part break, which is awesome because that allows so that you can get the right part from some used laptop place and you can fix it yourself if you have the screwdrivers. My MSI laptop doesn't have repair manuals that I could find. I also can't find parts for it. So if something breaks on it, I kind of have to tell them to fix it instead of me trying to figure it out instead of me, doing it myself. So anyways, that's a tangent. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
The Alienware, it's done by Dell, and they have repair manuals on that too, I think.
They do. I know that the Republic of Gamers line is great. It's just that they're huge.
They're huge, and it's a little bit more style over function because if you think about it, It looks awesome, but if you notice, there's some wasted material, I guess you could put it, because in order to have that cool look, it has to be big, pretty bulky, and
it also that was also for airflow purposes, from what I hear, but I don't. Yeah.
I know, but if you think about it, behind the lid, like when you prop open the lid, the space behind it is still like a good half-inch at least. Whereas I don't think most laptops do that, but that's kind of more like a styling feature.
Let's see. Well,
$2,000. Well,
like I said, and that's before taxes. $2,000 before tax. If you're willing to go that Asus route, I found one for $2,100. The specs on this thing, are just fucking monstrous. Okay. It is an i7 4700 HQ at 3.4 gigahertz, Windows 8.1, 24 gigs of RAM, a 1,000 gigabyte hard drive at 7,200 RPMs, a 256 gig SSD, and a GeForce GTX 880M.
Okay, so this is a laptop?
This is a laptop.
And what is the laptop again?
It is the Asus Republic of Gamers G750J7.
So how much is this?
It is $2,100.
That's a lot for That's quite a lot of computer for $2,100.
That machine makes our machines look like a biatch.
I mean, you think about it, it's like, wow, that price sounds pretty good. But if you also think about it, this is a quote mass-produced unquote laptop in a way, because whenever you're talking about a specialist builder like Falcon Northwest, they build computers to order. And they don't sell huge numbers of them, whereas people like MSI and Alienware and Asus, they kind of have like entire manufacturing factories, so
I think
they can mass produce it.
Here's my thing: like, one, this does not say if it has a Blu-ray drive or a regular DVD drive, so that could be important for you. Another issue that I just personally have with this machine is, I would say the Alienware 14 or the older 15s are about as big as I'm willing to go if I'm carrying this thing with me. If I just wanted a desktop replacement, absolutely get the Republic of Gamer, this one we just mentioned. But sadly, that is not the case for me, because occasionally E3 happens, I do bring my laptop places, like game night. That said, I think that if this is, like, my problem with desktop replacement laptops is I love having an uncluttered desk. My desk right now it has the power cable and charging my phone with my computer. There's the only cables I have hooked to the laptop. But even then, for $2,100, I would have to build a desktop. Like, think of the monstrous desktop you could build for $2,100.
It's not only that, but what if something on that laptop breaks? Because on a PC, oh no, my power supply burned out. Easy. Buy a new power supply, swap the part out. Done. Oh, my video card is broken or needs an upgrade. Buy a video card, swap it in and out. Simple. Fan on a laptop breaks. Tori's laptop broke. The fan broke. And yeah, the fan was pretty cheap enough. It was like, I think it was like $10 or $20 to get the fan. But I had literally had to disassemble the entire computer just to reach the heatsink and fan, swap it out, put it all back together, and then when I found out it was still shutting itself off because the heatsink the new heatsink didn't line up, did not 100% fit the Northbridge chip, I had to disassemble the whole thing again, take care of the problem, and then reassemble the whole system again. And this is like a lot of screws that I had to take apart to get this whole, all this plastic off, the keyboard off, the motherboard off. Yeah. So what if something breaks? And the thing is that a desktop replacement, the other thing about the desktop replacement is that they're usually very high-powered systems, desktop replacement game machines, but you've got 2 fans cooling off the whole thing, so it's probably going to be loud. And laptops generate a lot of heat. Lots and lots of heat.
I mean, not only that, but let's talk about performance. Like, yeah, you are going to get a high-powered machine, like an 8. What is the desktop equivalent to an 880M? Like a 660 Ti, right?
The 660 Ti, maybe 670, yeah.
Like, yeah, like maybe a 670. But like for $2,100, like Anthony, for $2,100, what kind of graphics card would you put in your PC?
I would just go big and get like the 980.
Yeah, like you would put a fucking 980, which would smoke that laptop. But they insist on a laptop. It has to be a laptop. So if they insist on a laptop and they don't care about size, I really do like the Republic of Gamers. If you are concerned about size, I recommend the Razer Blade. I have friends who own blades. Or the Ghost. The MSI Ghost is another option.
MSI. I should mention something about MSI though, because having personally owned an MSI laptop, you better hope that nothing on that thing breaks, because their warranty process is a giant pain in the ass. It's worse than HP. Why? Because with HP, when something breaks, you talk to their slightly creepy customer service, but what they do is that they send you a box and the shipping label. So you pack your laptop as how they say you should, and you put it in the box. You slap the label that they paid off for you, and you give it to FedEx, and they take your laptop to some place in California, fix it, and then they ship it back to you. Done. Easy. With MSI, you have to pay for your own packaging and shipping label for them to fix your laptop. And and shipping rates aren't cheap when you are by yourself, because obviously when you think, oh, it's $10 shipping for Amazon, well, that's because Amazon ships so much stuff. That's how they get cheaper rates. I think for me, it probably would have costed maybe $30 to $50 to ship that thing via UPS ground down to their repair center. They give you a 2-year warranty, but there's a catch. And I had to tell the guy at Exotic PC, hey, I just got the system straight out of the box, brand new, and it's already slightly broken. Can you get me a shipping label? And even then, I still have to pay for the box and padding for it. So if you're gonna get an MSI laptop, you kind of need to be careful, because these guys aren't like Dell. They don't have like people in your city that drive to your house and fix it on the spot.
Yeah,
no,
that was MSI, the best. That was MSI, the best. I'm sorry, that was great.
MSI doesn't have that. They have a repair center in like SoCal, and you gotta ship your own laptop down there. Pay for your own shipping, and it was a giant headache. And would I buy an MSI laptop again? I don't know. That warranty process, it took forever. Like, I get my laptop, then I have to wait like 2.5 weeks for it to come back. And that's the other thing too. It can take anywhere between 2 to 5 weeks for your thing to get fixed. So that's my rant. Yeah, it was frustrating when I got my new computer.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the camp of like, if you just are going for fucking performance and you don't want any hassles from dual video cards, then that Republic of Gamers is probably as good as you're gonna get. Though I implore you that if this machine is mostly just going to sit at places for long periods of time, then I would say a desktop. But if you fucking absolutely fucking need a high performance laptop and you don't really give a shit about weight, and I mean that when you don't give a shit about weight or size,
because this thing is not going to fit in your backpack or messenger bag.
Yes, then the Republic of Gamers. If you do give a shit about size, like you're going to be carrying, like, for instance, if you're a college student or if you work for the press, and God knows that we're always walking, cannot say enough good things about them from what I've seen from the Razer Blade and the MSI Ghost.
I should say aside from my rant on the MSI warranty BS, what I have is I have their GP60 2PE009 Leopard, the Leopard, which is one of their cheaper game. Actually, it's like the lowest end gaming series laptop you can get, and I have it, and I think it's good, very satisfactory. So like if this is like the cheapest end of their product, which means that the more expensive one should be better, right? So from my experience, MSI build quality seems pretty good. They have decent build quality. This thing is plastic fantastic, but it's a good quality plastic. It's sturdy. It doesn't feel super cheap.
I'll say
it's got
this,
it's got a good 1080p display. So then again,
I know
I'm pretty sure a lot of those
Solid Kratos got an MSI for his gaming laptop. I forgot which one he got. But I know he did get one. Oh, here it is. He bought the MSI GE series GE70 Apache Pro.
The Apache is actually a step up from the Leopard. It's like Leopard, Apache Pro, I think.
All right, well, he has the Apache Pro. It has an i7, 12 gigs of RAM, and an 860M, and it's a 17-inch.
Okay. So yeah, so the Leopard has an 840M, which I don't really recommend if you're looking for serious gaming because it can barely play today's games at 1080p. Next up is the Apache, which is GTX 850, which is what you at least want to consider because the 850 is actually twice as fast as the 840. And there's the Apache Pro, and I think the step up above that is probably Ghost. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the MSI line.
From what I can tell you of my experience, from my experiences with the two Alienwares I've had, is the customer service is largely great. I cannot say enough good things about their customer service. The machines look great. They do focus on aesthetics. Performance I have had nothing but great performance from my Alienware 14. The new Call of Duty ran at around 45 frames on I had to make custom settings, and if I had to peg them, they're somewhere between high and ultra, and I got 60 frames on high. So take that for what it's worth. I think that my real big complaints with my 14 was the Alienware lighting system kind of fucks up, especially whenever I run iTunes for some reason. It costs a little more because of the name, and that's really my only negative things I can say about it.
The Alienware is kind of nice, except it's really thick.
Yeah, that too. It is a thick machine,
and it feels a little gimmicky, just a little. Why is it slightly gimmicky? Well, that software doesn't really, like you said, that sometimes that keyboard flashes colors to match the game, right?
Yeah.
I personally find that kind of distracting, and not to mention the light up touchpad, I think is one of the dumbest things on that system, because with a light up keyboard it makes sense because there's like 110 plus buttons on a keyboard. You kind of need it to light up. The trackpad only has the pad and the left and right mouse button. I don't know why you need to light up the damn thing because it's not like it's moving. I mean, a light-up mouse would make more sense than a light-up trackpad. So, the Alienware, I personally think is a little gimmicky.
I can somewhat agree with that. One thing that I found absolutely hilarious is certain games are supported by Alienware effects. One of them is Battlefield, and I was playing Battlefield 3. And my keyboard changed colors to white. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. I guess it's something with the game. Make it less distracting if you had colored lights, I thought. And then I fucking was shot, but not dead. It was in that stage you get in certain games where you can, like, crawl away and get healed. And my keyboard starts flashing red. And I'm like, the fuck is going on? So it was yeah. It was neat. I thought it was cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just... Here's the interesting I found out is that I originally thought there was a lot of laptop builders because gaming laptops are I think are a pretty lucrative business because lots of people buy them. And you can make a pretty darn good profit margin. They're like luxury cars. Luxury cars can get you a lot of profit if people are buying them. Turns out there aren't that many brands you could shop for. Like, I did research on this, and there's MSI, there's Alienware, Razer, Asus. Today, HP launched their gaming brand called Omen. There's Origin PC. Those are the only ones I can think off the top of my head. Oh, Sega. Sega's another one.
Sega, yep. Sega's an option.
I'm pretty sure there's some others if you go on the Exotic PC website. But yeah, there's not really as many brands. And let me tell you, can I just tell you how hard it is to find a gaming laptop that, quote, can be a, quote, gaming laptop that doesn't cost at least $1,500? It's really hard. Not to mention the graphics chip you're kind of getting, because what I was looking for was extremely specific. I needed an i7 and I preferred to have a GTX 850. The problem is that almost every gaming laptop out there, they think that the only thing that makes it qualify as a gaming laptop, at the very least, is it had to have an i7 or an i5, and it had to, at the very least, have an 860M. And I was like, no, I need an i7, but I don't need the 860. An 850 is great. And the only manufacturers I could find that were selling 850s or 840s was MSI and Sega. That's it. So, yeah, because let's be honest here. Gaming laptops, you can actually get away with an i5. Believe it or not.
You could.
i5s are very good. It's not like in the old days where you actually ran out of processing power. An i5 today can handle most of your games very easily. It's just the graphics is usually the bottleneck. Yeah. i7s are usually overkill. And I know this having an i7 in both my laptop now and my desktop. An i7 is, man. If you're planning on keeping your computer around for more than 4 or 5 years, yeah, an i7 might be worth it, but it's kind of overkill. Unless you do a lot of high-end work like media and engineering or heavy computational stuff.
Anyway,
I just don't have much as far as laptop advice, actually. I kind of stopped giving a crap once I got mine.
Anyway, that should be the show. No comments this week. Comment, people! Fucking anything.
We're on iTunes.
We're on iTunes.
You can comment there too.
YouTube. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on fucking everything. Except Tumblr and a couple other of those. But for the most part, we're on all the big ones. So please go subscribe. Tell your friends. The more friends you tell, the more, the more trends you tell, the more people we get watching, the more stuff we can do, because views lead to sponsorships, which lead to us being able to do this more often, because we have to focus less on making money through other ways. So yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I don't know.
Subscribe to us on iTunes.
Yeah, subscribe on iTunes for sure. Anyway, comment, call us jerks, tell us you love us, tell us you hate us. Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back next week. Have a good day.